A warm welcome to Eyewitness Report on Channels Television. I am Yomi Otaigbe. This week's edition showcases some of the interventions being carried out by some state governments in response to eyewitness images sent by you to our portals on infrastructure decay in your communities. Also, we'll bring you the story of 3 children assaulted in Anambra State. Do stay with us for the details. For long, they suffered the consequences of heavy rainfall as a result of the absence of good drainage system and road network. But with the completion of roads and other projects, relief has come the way of the people of Warri in Warri South, as well as Owo and Efuru communities in Ughelli South local government areas of Delta State.
A 100-meter-long bridge and a height of 45 meters above water level, with side drain on both sides of the approach, characterizes the new road infrastructure located between Owo and Efuru Motor communities in Ughelli South local government area. Besides the bridge is a 300 meters asphalt road nearing completion. To enforce perfection ahead of commissioning, Delta State government officials are here for a final inspection.
This is just a protection, but this has nothing to do with the bridge.
I know.
So that's
The stoppage was done under the rain. Yeah, under the rain. I know. So they have to do it that time so that they can hold the
sun. Are you seeing it? It's not your back
The Owo Efuru Motor Bridge was constructed basically to link communities and to boost economic activities within the area and with other communities outside the state.
Usually bridges are between 2 communities, but there are several communities on either side of the bridge. All those different communities are connected with one another, in which case if you are coming from Owo, there are villages before Owo that will not take advantage of that bridge to be able to cross to Efroto. What that means is that all those other communities, and indeed those of us who may be visiting from other places, have been connected with both our kids and kin across the both sides of the bridge. So in that case, it's a bridge that is connecting several possibilities.
The drains will also serve as a channel for water evacuation, thereby reducing the effect of flood usually experienced in these communities.
If you recall, when we inspected that bridge some 18 months ago, that particular environment was heavily flooded. But the beauty of it is that it has a natural water channel. There's a river that is underneath that bridge, and I'm sure you saw it. What it also means that a number of the flood water you talked about will empty into this natural river, natural water course.
The team also inspects the rehabilitation and resealing of Otu Jeremy Okwagbe Road and the construction of Okwagbe Otutwama Esaba Road Phase 1, all in Ughelli South local government area. This project falls under Governor Okowa's SMART agenda, conceived to bridge the infrastructure gap in the rural areas. The project have also enabled employment opportunities for residents of the area. Youths trained under the state's skill acquisition program executed the interlocking of the internal roads.
We looked at the SMART agenda of His Excellency, our mentor, and we picked the component there of skill acquisition and empowerment. We started. And we were able to, within the period, our target was to train 3,000 persons in different skill sets within 3 years. However, directly we have been able to train 850 of them, interlock, catering, bag and shoe making, hairdressing. And the model we use is to take the training to the various communities.
The projects come as a relief to plight of residents who have endured bad roads and long travel time for years.
So many years, it has been a challenge to us. Because you want to leave over here for a front of year, you can see that the two communities just a stone throw. But you must drive through from Owo to Teri, Ugeli main town, a Kubo community, Ibremaro community, before you can access here. But with this bridge now, you want to leave here to Warina, it's so easy for you to go. So it's something of great joy to us.
These projects will be inaugurated soon, and for the benefiting communities, the waiting is only for a short while. The Ugeli Road projects are part of several others being embarked upon by the Delta State government in response to the people's yearnings, as captured in pictures and videos by eyewitness reporters. Recently, the Delta State Governor, Mr. Ifeanyi Okowa, and his Bayelsa State counterpart, Duye Diri, commissioned some completed projects across the state. The governors commissioned the reconstructed Ubeji Access Road from MPA Interchange to Trans-Warri Junction, the access road from MPA Expressway in Uvie to Warri Refinery and Petrochemicals, as well as the newly constructed Igogbadu Secondary School, Okumagba layout.
It shows that the government of Delta State is working, and Delta is indeed moving forward. Well, the governor remarked that this is not a PDP event. However, the fact is sacred that the governor and the government of Delta is a PDP government. So PDP is working.
Governor Okowa says the projects were embarked on because of the direct impact it has on the lives of the people, and assured that more projects will be carried out to change the face of the state.
To use this opportunity to appeal to our people that we must cooperate with the contractors. As I said, those buildings that have been built along the water course, some of them will have to go down, because the whole of the people cannot suffer because of few buildings that are on the water course. It is best that compensations are paid to those persons so that the rest of the people will be free from the challenges of flooding.
The people are grateful for the project, but request for more security and infrastructure development.
Prior to now, this road was a single lane, and it was obvious that it will not be able to serve the needs of the communities around. Because if Egbokodo, Ikere, and the other communities, they all have various economic businesses that are operating here. We have tank farms. We have over 8 tank farms here. And with the small road that was here before, it will not be able to serve the growing tank farms. You know, with this effort by his governor, it has really boosted the economic life.
The projects are expected to enhance the economy of the communities and connect them to other parts of the state.
Also in the northern region of Nigeria, this time in Katsina State, where the state government is targeting 70% of its population for water supply to combat scarcity of potable water with the reactivation of the Ajiwa Water Project.
The Ajiwa Water Treatment Plant was constructed and commissioned in 1974 and served as the major source of potable water supply to the then capital of Kaduna State and its environs. It was later abandoned when certain equipment started waning. The facility originally was designed to produce and supply 50 million cubic liters of water daily. With a growing population, Katsina is now witnessing water scarcity, making it imperative for the government to revisit the Ajiwa Dam project with plans to double its capacity. The upgrade of the plant covers repairs of storage tanks, relaying of pipelines, and the replacement of outdated equipment. Governor Aminu Masari inspected the final stage of the rehabilitation. Now it is ready to supply residents. Away from the scene, Governor Masari explains the impact of the project on the well-being of the citizens.
All this in an effort to improve, and a lot, like I said, a lot needs to be done. Now, the upgrading of Ajiwa Water Works, including new treatment plant and the dam itself on consultancy, is going to consume billions. So really, like I say, it is work in progress. We are laying a foundation for restoring, because water is life. If we can cover 70% of our population with good, healthy, potable water for drinking and other domestic uses, we'll have reduced cost of medication and going to hospital by nothing less than half. And we would have improved in terms of mortality. We would have improved. You can see the rate of losses will go down in terms of losing newborn babies or even pregnant women, because some of these things are diseases that are waterborne, starting from Funtua, Malomfashi, Dusuma, Katsina itself, and Daura. With the exception of Daura, all these have surface water supply through dams. Daura has twin source of supplies. They have the surface from Sabke, and they have the borehole-based water supply. But when we came, only the borehole-based water supply was working. And also, all the schemes I mentioned, none of them was functioning optimally. In the case of Malomfashi Hongi, one weekend, it has not been working for more than 3 or 4 years. So the water supply sector, especially the urban and semi-urban, was not given all the necessary attention.
Apart from the Ajiwa Water Project, the Katsina State Government says it is drilling over 1,700 boreholes across 34 local government areas of the state.
So as far as we're concerned, like I made mention, yearly under review from the 2015 to date, the projection is about 25 billion. But the implementation is about the implementation. There's implementation had to be categorized in two forms. There's a technical aspect and there's a consumable item. That's chemical and whatsoever, and the daily operations. The state government spent mainly about 19 billion naira on ground. Most of the projects that are going, the first project in Katsina State is of that of Ajiwa. You know, whenever you talk about the Ajiwa, you are talking about the historical, you have to take it back to 1974 and the activities of 1987. No government has committed amount of money into the urban, semi-urban water and local rural water supply like that of Adwin Masari. But underline the word that commitments and the implementation.
The Ajiwa Water Treatment Plant is expected to boost the state's water supply with over 40 million liters of water daily, in line with the effort to solve the perennial water scarcity experienced in Katsina metropolis.
As part of efforts to cushion the effect of insurgency, about 100 internally displaced persons in Adamawa State received food and non-food items from the Northeast Development Commission in Adamawa State. The IDPs are those who escaped from the state following the recent attacks on their communities by Boko Haram insurgents who destroyed their homes.
The spate of violent attacks by Boko Haram in recent times has displaced many, leaving them homeless. Nevertheless, life continues for them as they take refuge in camps away from their homes. Their stay in camps requires efforts to sustain their immediate needs. About 300 people from Dikwa, Damagun and Zabamari communities in Borno and Yobe State now live in Wurojabe and Kofare in Adamawa State, and they are benefiting from this intervention provided by the Northeast Development Commission. The Adamawa State Emergency Management Agency coordinates the distribution of items such as food, clothing and other household materials.
This is what we have for each beneficiary per household. We call them household because we group them in household basket. For each household is receiving 25 kg of rice, that is 2 bags, 1 carton of macaroni, 4 liters of vegetable oil, and 2 cartons of tomato paste, 1 salt, that's 1 bag of salt, and 2 pieces of mat, 2 pieces of blanket, 2 pieces of wax, and a set of a children wear and a mosquito net.
The leader of the IDPs appreciates the intervention by the federal government through the NEDC.
I really enjoyed what happened today. I have IDPs, more than 300 in Wurojabe, but these people from Zabarmari, that comes from Zabarmari IDPs, I really enjoy how government do to them and advising them to manage the food items that the government give them. Let them manage it. Let them enjoy the food the government give them.
The head of Yola Office of NEDC reiterates its commitment to provide relief to communities affected by insurgency and the vulnerable in the zone.
As you can see, the Commission is very much committed towards providing relief, coming to the aid of the less privileged and the internally displaced persons. It's unfortunate what has happened, but we'll try our best. The Commission is ever ready to support and provide assistance to these people. We also want to use this opportunity to thank the state government as well as the general public for the hospitality they have rendered to these IDPs.
Although this is the first batch of interventions for the IDPs, as further support is being expected from other agencies, the beneficiaries are warned not to sell the items, but to use them judiciously.
A suspect involved in a case of alleged assault and attempted murder of 3 children in the Onitsha area of Anambra State has been arrested. We'd like to warn that the next report contains some disturbing images.
At the Anambra State Police Command Headquarters, Amobia, the Commissioner for Women Affairs, Mrs. Ndidi Mezue, leads 2 children, victims of child torture allegedly carried out by Mrs. Rejoice Raymond and her 80-year-old mother, now both in custody. An eyewitness video shows how their activities were busted by security operatives on the 19th of February. In the video, 3 children, confined in different rooms and subjected to physical and emotional torture, as well as starvation, were rescued.
Following intelligence report, police operative attached to 33 police stations, in collaboration with the vigilante in the area, raided a house at the Federal Housing Estate 33 and arrested 2 women, Madam Raymond Rejoice, aged 40 years of Umuya, but residing at 33 Federal Housing, and her mother. And the police team also rescued 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, who were brutally tortured, abused, beaten, with laceration all over their body at the point of death. And they were rushed to the hospital for medical attention.
Though the children are recovering from the torture, the scars on their bodies are still obvious 3 weeks after the rescue. They tell their experiences and still shrink in fear at the sight of their persecutor.
Who did this to you?
This woman.
Who?
Pastor.
Pastor who?
Chimeleze.
Can you point her? Go and point her.
No, beat me.
What did she do to you?
The whiskey and broom, now they knocked me in my head.
And then did what?
Milo.
And what again?
She would throw me in the step, push me in the gutter.
While parading the suspects, the police also display some of the fetish items recovered in their home.
Other exhibits recovered in the house of the suspects include some fetish substances, which we are going to display to you, as well as bloodstain, cane, and other mortar.
Perhaps there is more to the story than meets the eyes. The police public relations officer explains the commercial dealing between the suspects and a child trafficker, Sabina Uzwara, who has been on the run.
Preliminary investigation so far revealed that the suspect, Madam Rejoice, allegedly bought the 3 children at the rate of 3,350,000 naira from a woman called Madam Sabina Izora, who is a social welfare worker previously attached to Oka South local government area, but recently transferred to Ihiala local government headquarters secretariat. So the suspect who allegedly sold the children is still at large, and she has been a notorious child trafficker, and she has been in the wanted list of the police for forgery, fraudulent practice, unlawful adoption, perjury, as well as child stealing.
The chief suspect, however, denies the allegations.
Adopted them through social welfare.
Social welfare where?
At Oka.
Oka. Where in Oka precisely?
Sabine Zora adopted them from her hand. He's a head of social welfare.
Okay. How much did you pay?
I paid him even 3,050,000 with certificate on him.
For how many children?
For 3 children.
For 3 children.
He gave me a certificate bearing the magistrate court of Oka.
Okay, when was that? When was that?
2020 of March.
Okay, why are you maltreating the children?
They are fornicating too much. I'm not the one that maltreat them. When I noticed it, 2 days to the time I noticed it last year. I called Sabina, say that he said that he's not producing children. He's not producing children, that I should not take the children to her. I called him more than 15 times. Then later on, I went to her office to tell him. He said that I can never even put the children to her again, that she's not producing children. I've been telling her, even to the January, even to the February, I call her, say this is what these children are doing.
This case of child abuse and trafficking comes as the State Ministry of Women and Children Affairs intensifies checks on children's homes across the state.
Personally, I went to visit all the community children home in Anambra State. At the end of the day, we were able to have about 47. And at the end of the day, again, I closed down 3 because of these things we are seeing today. The only thing I want to say is that the Ministry of Women and Children Affairs Anambra State will not relent in taking care of these lovely children while the case is being investigated. And I pray as they go on investigating the matter, let the law take its course.
Before now, Governor Willie Obiano has directed that the children be properly taken care of, and the commissioner is not leaving anything to chance to this directive. Child trafficking and abuse is not new in Anambra State, with parents said to be giving out their children for money. For instance, in October 2019, the police in Anambra announced the rescue of 2 children after smashing a suspected trafficking syndicate in Awka, the state capital. 3 women were arrested in connection to the crime. Earlier, Kano State Police Command announced the recovery of 9 children after busting a syndicate that specialized in abducting children from Kano to be sold in Anambra.
If you desire to be the agent of change in your community, then be a part of the Eyewitness team by sending images of what's happening in your area. Take the shots, accompany them with relevant information, and upload on the Channels TV Eyewitness portal, which is available on the Channels TV app, downloadable from the various app stores online. Launch the app, check for Eyewitness on the menu, tap and follow the instructions on how to upload your story. We'll be back next week with another episode of the program. I am Yomi Otaigbe. See you then.